Right, good afternoon everybody and welcome back to another edition of Thai Talk with Dan. Now I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and you're all looking forward to the new year. I just want to say on behalf of Thai women all over Thailand, thank you for a very Merry Christmas. They've all been showing off on social media for what their boyfriends, sponsors have bought them and give them in cash amounts. Foreign guys truly make the girls happy in Thailand.
I love money, my love. I love money, send me money.
So let's get into today's Thailand story. Hi Dan, I am from Australia. My name is Terence and I am 30 years old. I came out here to Thailand to train mixed martial arts and Muay Thai in Phuket. My plan was to come for 6 months of training and then go home, but I loved the lifestyle of training Muay Thai and MMA full time, so I decided to stay out and live here. I have been living here now for 2 years in Phuket and I'm still here now. Now after 7 or 8 months of living here, I met a Thai girl on Tinder. Her name was Fon and I asked her out for dinner. We met up and she didn't speak much English or she just could not understand my Aussie accent. Well, we walked around the beach and had dinner. She seemed pretty interested in me. Now I did see the red flags from the start, but I chose to ignore them. I should have been more careful of her from the get-go and her intentions.
Him love me, him want to keep money for me.
I have to admit, I was inexperienced when it come to dating, as I never really tried that much in Australia and I always dedicated myself to my training and my work. Anyway, we met up at her house. I was super nervous and thinking of bailing, but glad that I didn't. We went and we had dinner. We walked around the beach and she seemed pretty interested in me. She said that she had a massage shop which we went to and she was asking for a massage and if I wanted one also. I then realised she was lying and it wasn't her shop after all, but the shop that she actually worked at. She was telling me it would cost money, so I declined the massage and we left. The following day she messaged me saying she missed me and wanted to see me again on my next day off. Now one of my friends asked me how I went on the date. So I told him about it and he warned me to just be careful of her. I feel like her now saying that she missed me was her way to reel me in and I was so naive.
Yeah, I forgot this 2 hour.
Now we ended up meeting a bunch more times over the next month and I remember on one of the dates after having dinner I was paying and she had a cunning look in her eyes. She seemed interested in me and wanted to make plans on certain days and for the new year. She would call me at night when I was asleep and she would always say, "Are you with your girlfriend?" I used to reply, "No, I don't have one. My phone is always on Do Not Disturb after 9 p.m. when I'm in bed sleeping and I was prioritising my sleeping for training." Anyway, I went to Bangkok with my mum as she was visiting me. And when I came back, she asked me if I wanted to get dinner and I said, yeah, sure. We met up, had dinner, walked along the beach and I said that I needed to go to bed as I was fighting the next evening at Patong Stadium. So I took her home and then I went home to bed myself. I felt curious about this Thai girl, so I looked her up on Facebook as I had her Instagram. It turns out she was in a relationship. She ended up in one the day before. I felt angry and annoyed and very peed off. I didn't get much sleep that night. The next day, I had a fight and I lost the fight. I got 17 stitches above my eyebrow. It takes balls to walk in the ring.
He's chasing him! Oh!
So anyway, I met up with her on Sunday and I asked her if she had been seeing other people out of curiosity. And she goes, "No, I am not." And I was like, whatever. And I just ignored it.
You are made of stupid.
Really, I should have just moved on. And then I just decided I could see her a little more to just have some fun with her. And she went cold on me now for the next following few weeks, which was no surprise. And then, all of a sudden, she started messaging me again. I met up with her again and I asked her about her relationship on Facebook and what the hell is going on with it. And then I asked her, "How long did you know him for?" She goes, 2 days. And then the next couple of weeks, I didn't see her. It turns out she got engaged to him. I'm assuming she asked him to buy a ring. The guy was on his holidays. He was Polish, but he lived in England. I decided to keep seeing her and I got attached. Silly me. I am such a fool. There are plenty more of fish out in the sea. But it makes you think if someone's pushing for a relationship of 2 days of knowing them, it makes you think, what are their intentions? So, we kept seeing each other and she goes back to her hometown of Rayong. She goes back for a month. She moved to Phuket after she got divorced, and 1 year earlier she asked if I would like to come visit her and I said, sure. I went there, met her friends and family, and they didn't ask for money like you hear of a lot of other stories. All her friends and family would have known what was going on, which was strange from where I come from, but it must be normal in Thailand. She asked me to buy a ring and if I would marry her. When she asked that, I just laughed and told her, no chance. I am not that foolish. We ended up going around travelling with her to Chiang Mai and a few villages around, and then we met her friends and her sister in Bangkok, and then we went to Khao Yai. While we was travelling, she was getting me to pay for all of her food and all that jazz, asking if I would pay for her friends and sister also. I just laughed and said, no chance. I am not a fool or going to be taken for one or used in any way.
That's how winning is done.
She didn't say much and I just paid for her. I got back to Phuket and she was still in Rayong. She was messaging me a lot saying she missed me. She then started asking for money. 5,000 baht. She said that she would pay me back, but she never did. I ended up going back to Australia for 2 months and she said she would be in Rayong when I got back. So I said, I will come and visit you. And she was saying, I don't know where I will be. Like she didn't want me to come. I really missed her a lot. Foolish me again. I asked her how you would feel if I came back to Phuket when you arrived from Rayong, as she was coming back a couple of weeks after I left. She asked, what do you want from me? I felt hurt from the answer as I knew what it meant. She wanted to be friends still, so she could use me.
Are you stupid or something?
I just ignored her for a few days, but my phone was going off the hook from her. I finally replied to her. She was saying I missed you so much and I want to see you again. So I said to her, can we just be friends? Which I was dumb for saying that. She was calling every morning before I go to work, respecting the boyfriend treatment when she didn't want to give the girlfriend treatment in return to me. She asked me if I would be interested taking her to Koh Lipi as she always wanted to go there. So I said, sure, when I get back. She was trying to manipulate me, which I saw through, to come back early by saying she was going back to Rayong for good and leaving Phuket. Eventually, I ended it shortly after. She was trying to manipulate me. I said I'm no longer interested in you. I found someone else and she was like, okay, thank you for the good times.
What you gonna drink, honey?
My friend said to me if she's not even gonna fight for you, she is a waste of time. Then she messaged me 5 minutes later. What do you mean you ending it with me? I said I'm no longer interested. Anyway, I wrote out a long message explaining what happened. I ended up also messaging her fiance about what she was doing.
Oh shit!
Now, I had no response for a day or so. Then I did some snooping around on his Facebook. I found his email and I emailed him. And within 10 minutes of emailing him, I get a message from her. How could you do this to me? However, they ended up still being together. After I told him she blocked me on all socials and my phone number on WhatsApp. I felt heartbroken and I was very upset about this for about a month. Foolish me. Let a girl use me like that when I knew what was going on the whole time. Anyway, we didn't speak for 2 to 3 months. And then one day I was on WhatsApp and I noticed that she had unblocked me and we started speaking again. We met up and had coffee and she was saying how much she missed me. So we ended up being friends and me saying you're not gonna use me this time. We were hanging out and seeing each other and having fun, all the while she was still in a relationship with this guy. This went on for 3 months, then she told me he wasn't happy about it. Bet he wasn't. When I messaged him what was going on, this time it was much better as I laid down my boundaries and not being a simp. Anyway, dumb me, I'd got attached again to her. I got upset when she said we can't see each other because her boyfriend is coming. I didn't really see her for 2 months and he left. Her boyfriend started to send money so she could open a massage shop and so she could have a car as well. She started messaging me again and I started to see other women also. Now she is always accusing me of having another girlfriend when I never did. We kept being friends and one day she messages me, I want to borrow 10,000 baht. I will pay it back to you. She ended up paying me back within 2 days of lending it. She showed me her message between her boyfriend. Her boyfriend sends her 50,000 baht per month. The poor man, he's got the blanket pulled in front of his eyes and then I just started discussing about wanting to outdo him to see her reaction.
Stop it. Get some help.
I worked as a roofer for myself back in Australia and I told her I made 150,000 a week in baht, equivalent, which is like 6,000 Australian dollars.
Wow.
As soon as I said that, she's like, I'll be your girlfriend for the remainder of the time you're here, which was a couple of months before I headed back to Australia for good. For the past week, she has tried to get me to buy her a gold ring or bracelet. I kept telling her no, and I laugh at this. I am not a fool. She wants the boyfriend treatment, but she isn't willing to give it back, and I just laugh at it.
A bullshit?
Anyways, she is still cheating on him currently, and he is coming to Phuket this week. So I thought that I would go round 2 as he knows she cheats and it's now on him. She begs me not to tell again and I don't think I will because I got nothing to gain out of it now. I've got what I've came for, but some days I think about it and I feel like telling him again because she lies through her mouth out of this world. But now, I just need to move on now and find another woman that's real. I was just trying to fill a void of loneliness. Now, before I go, I look back at all of this now and I think I do not regret any of this, as it was a learning curve, an eye-opener for me, and I had a bit of fun along the way. Wow, what do you guys make of this guy and his situation and the Thai woman that's involved? For me, she's just another Thai girl that's working within the tourist industry, a creature of the night, and she's doing her best to get her dream. And she's willing to go and go through lengths to be able to achieve that dream. That's what these girls do. They do work very, very hard for what they are hoping to receive. They work their little butts off. So in all honesty, what I make of this story is that that girl probably likes this guy at least a little bit, maybe enjoys having a bit of fun with him because she's normally with older men and stuff for cash. And yeah, it's good to keep him on, but in reality, she's still got a job to do, and her job is to fulfill her dream and get big stacks of cash and get her house and all the things that she wants, and they normally do go big. And in between all this, she's trying to get a little bit from this guy and seeing what could happen along the way, get a free holiday, get treated when her other guy's not there. Yeah, I get it, but this woman is all out for her dream and her dream alone. And this guy just keeps going back and going back and going back. And this guy has a lot of faults, as I'm sure people will put down in the comments. And this guy really does need to move on, you know, and find somebody who's single at least, who doesn't have a guy that you know about, that you've spoken to. It all seems a bit jealous from your end, to be honest. You seem to be very jealous that you can't have this woman totally for yourself. In order to have her, you know that you've got to pay out for it, but you didn't want to compete with somebody that's got more money. It sounds like you need to like make or break in regards to this. You either willingly become her sponsor and outbid the other guy and get yourself involved in that kind of relationship, or you break free from those chains and you find something that's not like a prison. So I'm sure there's happier routes to go down. And guys, if you've got anything that you want to add, please put it down in the comments below. And as always, if you've got your own Thailand story that you want to share on the channel.
Him love me, him want to take me go shopping, Gucci, Louis Vuitton. Him love me, him want to give money for me.